All right, 9.2, we're going to talk about conditional probability. So, although we have a lot of learning targets here, we're actually going to just focus on the first two today, which is defining conditional probability and then finding the probability using contingency tables. We will talk about tree diagrams in the next section. So, conditional probability is just the probability that an event B will occur given that another event A has already happened. So, the two events must be dependent for conditional probability to be in play. You would see it written like this. So, we read that as the probability of event B given event A. When we look at contingency tables, we're really going to look at two situations. When we look at conditional probability, we're going to look at two tools to help us with that. And the first is a contingency table. You could also call it a two-way frequency table, and it just contains data from two different categories, and it helps you find the conditional probabilities. So here is an example of a contingency table. You have a deck of cards, but we're classifying it based on number of the card along the top and then suit along the bottom. And what we'll end up doing is like adding the columns. So, I could look at this and I could say, well, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 10, 11, 12, 13 of each of these, right? And then there's 4 of each number, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, right? Which gives me the total of 52 cards. So we can use that then with how we're finding our probabilities. So let's look at an example here. And if I do recommend that you're following in your note packets if you're doing this, because you're going to want to use this table that I'm going to talk about again. So the first one we're going to look at is we're going to find the probability. So a card is drawn from a standard deck of cards. So we're going to say that the probability is a club given the card is black. Okay, so there are 13 clubs. And so let's start with the second one. There are 26 black cards, right? And of those 26, 13 are clubs. So the probability that the card is black is 13 out of 26, which is 1 over 2. Okay, we want the probability of a 4 given that it's not a face card. So not a face card would be the 2s, 3s, 4s, 5s, 6s, 7s, 8s, 9s, 10s, which is 40 cards. And then there are 4 4s. So 4 out of 40 or 1 out of 10. And again, a deck of cards you might be familiar with, so you might not need to use the table, but it is there for you as a reference. Okay, let's look at another one. Here we have another table. So this table shows students from our math class broken out by sports and employment status. You pick a student at random. So again, we see the two categories. We have play sports, doesn't play sports, and then we see has a job, doesn't have a job. Okay, we also see some numbers in there. When I'm doing this, I like to write totals over to the side because that's going to help me. So there are 8 students total. Wrong one, wrong tool. Let me write that actually so you can see it. There are 8 students total that have a job. There are 21 students total that do not, which makes for a total of 29 students. There are 16 that play sports. There are 13 that do not, and that still adds to that total of 29. So those numbers are just going to be helpful as we get into our conditional probability. Okay, so first one is just basic. What is the probability that a student has a job? Well, we look at the has a job table, which is here. This row says there are 8. That's that total. 8 students out of a total 29 that have a job. And we're just going to leave it as a fraction here. All right, so B, what is the probability that a student has a job given they play sports? Well, there are 16 that play sports. Of those, only 1 has a job. So 1 out of 16. C, what is the probability that a student plays sports given they do not have a job? So doesn't have a job is 21. And there are 15 of those 21 that play sports. This is the first one we've seen that I can divide both of these by 3. So we need to make sure if we're leaving it as a fraction, we put it in lowest terms. So 5 out of 7. Okay, we're going to look at another example. This table shows students from our math class broken out by morning habits. You pick a student at random. What is the probability that a student is running late? So that would be 10 out of a total of 29, because there are 19 no's, 10 yeses. So 10 out of 29, we can't simplify that, so we're good. What is the probability that a student runs late and jumps out of bed? So there are 16 that jump out of bed, and there are 5 out of those 16 that run late. All right, we are jumping ahead a little bit if you're following in your packet, because I want to make sure we talk about how to construct a two-way table. So we're going to look at all this data, and then we're going to try and put together this table. So there are 96 children ages 4, 5, and 6. 37 of these children cannot swim. 11 4-year-olds cannot swim. 21 5-year-olds can swim. And there are 30 6-year-olds, 18 who can swim. So the first thing we have to figure out is what are the variables that we're looking for. There should be the two different scenarios, and then we're going to add those to our table. So first we have kids that are ages 4, 5, and 6, right? Those are their ages. And then we're just looking at who can swim and who can't swim. So those are our categories there. Then we're going to have to use this data to kind of put together the rest of this table. So it's kind of like a puzzle here. So 37 of these children can't swim. So we don't know what ages that, or like how that breaks down, but we know that this total here is 37. So that's going to help. And we know that there are 96 children total. So if I take 96 minus 37, that gives me 59. So there are 59 children who can swim, right? Because again, that total has to make 96. Okay. So we did that first one. 11 4-year-olds cannot swim. So there's some more specifics. 11 4-year-olds, so we're in the row that says 4, cannot swim. So we're going to put an 11 there. 21 5-year-olds can swim. So now we're in the can swim category. There's 21 that can swim. We're still missing a lot of information, but we'll get there. There are 36-year-olds, 18 who can swim. So 18 can swim, but I know that this total of 6-year-olds is 30. So 30 minus 18 makes 12. So I know that there's 12 that can't swim. Now I have enough information to fill out the rest of these. So 11 plus 12 is 23. So if I know that the total is 37, 37 minus 23 leaves 14 there. And I'm going to kind of do the same thing here. I know that this total is 59. So 21 plus 18 is 39. 59 minus 39 is 20. Okay, now I'm going to also just add that there are 31 total 4-year-olds and 35 total 5-year-olds. And we know that there's 36-year-olds. And then just double check all of our numbers, because those, if we did it right, should add to 96, and they do. Okay, so there is our frequency table, and then we could use that to answer some questions about the conditional probability. So that's it for day 1 of conditional probability. We will come back to this when we talk about tree diagrams in day 2.